Before you start your follow-up on directives, can you include in your report some updated information in regards to the coronavirus? We already started giving some information at some of our neighborhood watch meetings, and if maybe you could just share that with our audience here today with us, as well as those who are watching on TV, as far as what we know as a city and what the city is doing, just in trying to keep our community safe here.
Certainly, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council, City staff is actually in constant communication with the LA County Department of Public Health. We get briefings almost every day. And obviously, the safety and security of our residents, our community, and our employees is our #1 priority. With that, the city recommends, following both the CDC and the LA County Department of Public Health, some guidelines with regards to this recent strain of the coronavirus. The first is, if you are feeling ill, stay home and don't wait until you are very, very ill. Wash your hands often for at least 20 seconds with soap and water. If that's not feasible, if that's not available, you can use alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol concentration. Cover your nose and mouth when sneezing and coughing. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean your work surfaces frequently with approved cleaning solutions. And lastly, get the flu shot if you haven't done so already. Now, the CDC and the LA County Public Health is saying that for the most part, this strain of the coronavirus, COVID-19, the disease is caused by this strain of the coronavirus, is very much like the flu. Most infected folks will recover with no complications, with the exception of people that have compromised immune systems and those that are elderly. So the question is, if it's just like the flu, why is it so controversial? Why is it talked about? And the answer to that is because this COVID-19, this strain of the coronavirus, is a close relative of 2 previous coronavirus cases. COVID-19 has over 95,000 cases worldwide, maybe even more now, with only about 3,200 confirmed deaths. So the fatality rate is lower, is relatively low at about 3% compared to the flu at about 0.1 to 0.2%. Their distant cousins, which is the SARS, that was an outbreak in 2002. There were 8,400 confirmed cases and about 813 deaths, with an approximate fatality rate of 10%, so much higher. And then lastly, the MERS, the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, that was out in 2012. There are about 2,500 cases, confirmed cases, and about 860 fatalities, bringing the fatality rate to about 35%. So it's much, much higher than this COVID-19. But in general, what the CDC and LA County Public Health is saying is it's very much like the flu, and most people will recover over time with very little or any at all complications.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything else under your city manager report?
Oh, yes. I just have, this is hot off the press. We weren't able to distribute this this week. This is in response to Councilmember Henderson's council directive, and that's the traffic information on 144th Street from Crenshaw to Van Ness. I'll make some copies and forward that to you as soon as possible. So that's my report, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, we're going to move on to our council reports. We're going to begin tonight with Councilmember Henderson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to thank Chief and city staff for this report. You guys will get it. It does definitely shine some light and re-educate us on why there are no stop signs on those streets that are adjacent to 144th. What I'd like to say again, we're still waiting for the vote count, but it looked like our city was very engaged in the actual voting process, so we want to make sure that we always want to encourage everybody to get out and vote. since our last council meeting. Attended afternoon in the park, Holly Park Homeowners Association. We did Fishbone grand opening. That was great. I missed coffee with a cop this morning because I was at a meeting about the COVID-19 as well. So that was it's something that it's going around LA County. So all the agencies are trying to figure out what we're going to respond to with that. Did meet some new veterans in our community and everything, trying to encourage a lot of our veterans in Gardena to participate in our veterans program, recognition program here. But a lot of these ladies and gentlemen are just kind of like, it's no big deal and everything. So I will definitely want to encourage my colleagues to, as we run across these veterans, it doesn't really matter which one of us is recognizing them. We want to make sure that we just get them in the pool so we can just recognize them each time. I think that's probably first and foremost the most important thing. Madam Mayor, so ends my report.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Councilmember Medina.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Since our last meeting, I had the privilege and honor of going to all 7 convalescent homes, and every last Friday of the month, I always deliver half-sheet cakes for the convalescent homes because they celebrate the monthly birthdays at the end of the month. So it never fails every time I walk into a convalescent home, and they say, "Is that for me?" And I always say yes. But one of the things that I was really surprised is, and very honored of the fact that our Gardena Police Department visited Clearview Convalescent Home. And for those of you who don't know this, Clearview is the only convalescent home in Gardena that has dementia therapy and dementia meals. They have special diets for people who are developing dementia and or Alzheimer's, and they specialize in Alzheimer's therapy. So for those of you who don't know that, reach out to them and they can give you some information with regard to diet and health and as exercise for dementia. And I want to thank Chief Sefel for visiting Clearview, and a lot of people didn't even know it existed. It's right across the street from Bob's on Western. So thank you, Chief Sefel. I also attended the Water Association, which, not good news. We're expecting, if the weather continues the way it's going now, not excluding today, we might be in for another drought.
Sorry. Sorry.
I needed that background music. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm just kidding. We're expecting to have a drought. As soon as I said drought, the music comes out, right? We're expecting to have a drought if the weather doesn't improve as far as rain is concerned. Right now, we sound optimistic because of the thunder that we had, but and the rain. But we do need more rain. We're really heading toward a drought season. And I also attended the Fishbone grand opening, and I actually had some of the food. You guys left kind of early, and I made up for all of them. I ate all their food. Good catfish as well. For those of you who get a chance, go by there on Rosecrans. And I also attended the Southern California Association of Governments, which we had some issues with regarding to housing and what the Regional Housing Authority is dictating to us, all the cities, all 119 cities in Southern California, as far as how much housing we're going to have, and hopefully we'll straighten that out. There was a major vote and major controversy. Our meeting started at 10 in the morning and it ended at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we got it taken care of, and hopefully we'll have good news as time comes on. And that ends my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Mayor Pro Tem Cascania.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As of our last meeting, I attended the official launching of the Black News Channel on Spectrum Cable. I don't know if they're still on or not, or what channel is it on, so I didn't get all the details, but they launched it as of February 28 to be launched on Spectrum. On March 7th, I attended the grand opening of the Fishbone, and Councilman Medina, I ate the fish as well. I was there before you a little bit, so it was delicious. I encourage all the members of the community, the residents in Gardena, to go and try it out. It's pretty good. It's delicious. They have all kind of fried fish and grilled fish, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes. And they are at the corner of Rosecrans and Vermont at the Strawberry Square. It's called Fishbone. And the same day, on March 7th, I attended the beauty pageant here in the city of Gardena at Nakaka Community Center. Dan Medina was there too as well. All of us, yes, pretty much. And I had to leave a little early because I don't have the results. I don't know who won, but there were 25 contestants, and they were all beautiful. That's all I can say. Attended today the Coffee with the Cups, and I saw two new business people. They were at the Coffee with the Cups at the McDonald's on Artesia and Normandy. And I asked them, how did you guys hear about this Coffee at the Cups? Because I was talking to them, and they told me, the magazine, we received it in the mail. I said, which magazine? Live, Work, and Play in Gardena. So it's affecting. So people are, receiving it, and, they're following up on it. So thank you to everybody that put this together. Mr. City Manager, thank you for your staff too as well. And Madam Mayor, that ends my report.
Okay, thank you. And for myself, since the last council meeting, I too attended I guess it was called like an opening of the Black Channel, subsidiary of Spectrum, and it was really good, very informative, and just happy to be there. It was on a Friday night. That's a hard night to get people to come out to, but a lot of people were in attendance and very excited about the channel. Also, since the last council meeting, I attended the City of Hawthorne State of the City address, and it was really good. I also attended on last Sunday the Gardena Valley Lions, their 96th anniversary. Councilmember Medina was there as well, too. It's okay. And it was their 96th anniversary. And they also had a special community recognition of Mr. Vince Cates, who has done a lot of great things in the community, but most recently he is like the fundraiser at Sarah High School. And this is the only person I know that when you meet him, by the time you leave, he gets everybody to donate to Sarah. I mean, you just want to turn your pockets out and be like, just take what I have, just stop asking me. But really, he's a great fundraiser. So they recognized him at the last, at their annual anniversary function, and that was at El Pola Inca. Also, I attended the most recent Gardena Holly Park homeowners meeting, and on last Saturday also was at the grand opening or ribbon cutting of Fishbone restaurant with my colleagues as well. And then on last Saturday evening, I too was at the 88th annual Miss Los Angeles County competition. There was 3 competitions in one, and the 23rd annual Miss Culver City competition, and the 22nd annual Miss Los Angeles County Outstanding Teen Competition. And basically, all three of these competitions in one. They were a beauty pageant. As was mentioned earlier, very beautiful women, very talented women. Just hearing some of the backgrounds that some of these young ladies had. One lady that just kind of stands out in my mind, she graduated from Yale, and in her spare time, she's like at UCLA, she was like a medical student. And she was like this amazing Tahitian dancer as well. And I mean, all these great talents that all of these young ladies had, and that was just to name one. But I didn't get a chance to stay for the end, but I'm sure it was very hard trying to judge that. Again, it was a great event to attend. This is the 3rd year that I know that we've had it here in the city of Gardena. And I think because the city of Gardena is always so welcoming to the pageant that they want to make this a regular place every year to host this pageant. So it's really a great event to attend. They're always looking for more people to attend this. And I tell people all the time, in Gardena, there's always something going on, like every weekend. And I'll probably just do a quick shout out right now, but if you didn't know it, this coming weekend, we're having our annual Koi show that's happening this particular Saturday. Last Saturday was the Cymbidian show that was, I believe it was here in the Rush Gym, but it's always something happening in our city. And a lot of just great events, chess tournaments. So just look on our calendar, you'll always find fun things to attend. And on yesterday, I flew to Sacramento as a representative of the committee that I sit on, the CCGA, which is the California Cities Gaming Authority, where we deal with issues affecting our casinos. And I testified in a hearing in regards to the Bureau of Gambling Commission Right now, unfortunately, they're not doing a very good job in regulating our casinos, and they're asking, the Attorney General is asking for an additional $5 million for more employees. And basically, we were going up there to say, you're not even doing a good job with the current amount of employees you have. You guys were recently audited, and it showed that your findings were terrible. You have three employees that govern over one license, and you're not getting the job done, versus other organizations like the medical board. They have one employee that handles 968 licenses. And, now they're asking for more money. So our position was, we were saying, do not give them more money because they're not doing a good job right now. So I flew up and came back yesterday, and I did my part. So that ends my report. Next up is Councilmember Tanaka.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So I did attend Clearview Convalescent, and talking to the owner, I believe they've been there for over 60 years. So it's a very nice facility. Did the South Bay City's Council of Governments, met in Redondo. Afternoon in the park, I missed that, but there was a young man that I consider my son. It was his engagement party, so I couldn't miss that. So I had to be there, so I apologize. Did the Mamie Deer Library, and the chief was the biggest kid in the room.
Wow.
Does a great job. The kids just swarmed him, so thank you, Chief. You guys, the department did a great job at the Mamie Deer. LA County League of Cities, we met at First Five, which is at the train station downtown. And First Five is an organization right now that is trying to get kids 0 to 5 prepared for kindergarten. So this is a big program that's coming out. They're starting to implement it and push some of the requirements. So look for that. Did the Fishbone #2 grand opening, and yes, the fish is good there. So stop by and try it. And did Coffee with a Cop this morning. Thanks, Chief. That was a great turnout. Everybody came out in the rain. It was a really good event. So that ends my report, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. And let's see, with that, the only announcement I have is next week we have our State of the City address, which was scheduled for March 19th, Thursday, March 19th, 2020. But due to the recent coronavirus and so many people are a little nervous about attending functions such as this, we've decided to postpone it at least for 2 months at this time. A lot of things right now, unfortunately, are getting postponed, and we just think it would be in our best interest to postpone it. So we will let you know moving forward what the new date will be. So with that, we have no adjournments tonight. Any remembrances tonight, and we'll move on to our adjournment here. The Gardena City Council meeting will adjourn to our next regularly scheduled City Council meeting, which will be on 7 p.m. on Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. We are adjourned.
Good job, Madam Mayor.